Okay, now we're going to hear from a few speakers. I'd like to invite Jan Knight up. Jan? Karen. Oh, I like that. Y'all get quiet when I start talking. I'm almost as powerful as the Almighty. Time. See what I did there? No.
All right. Oh, perfect. All right. I'm short. All right. Welcome, everyone. And my name is Jan Knight, and I am a teacher. Yay! Yeah! So, I'm here today to represent all the teachers and all the parents who have worked with teachers and all the students who have been students of teachers and anyone else that loves education. And we're all here, all of us today, in celebration of a most amazing teacher. So that's what I'd like to share with you today, is this amazing teacher named Mimi, our own Mimi, whose impact has spanned over almost 5 decades of dedication to the arts, to mentoring, to teaching, and to dance. And she isn't just a teacher, in quotes. She's not just a teacher. You've heard a lot of people say that lately. She's a lifelong learner. She's always evolving, always adaptable. Her passion for teaching and the arts radiates through every step she took along the way, every class she led, and every life she touched, and is still touching today. There's evidence of that in the room. Known for being both empathic and patient, she has a unique gift of keeping her students engaged, which is a real gift for a teacher, to keep her students engaged, meeting each one exactly where they are on their learning journey. So think about who you know, why you're here, and where Mimi was with them, and how they took them, where they started, how they took that person from where they were and moved them forward on their journey. She encouraged her students to learn and grow at their own pace, never rushing the process, but always, always supporting them with care and respect and love and compassion, as Christy said earlier. Her classroom, whether it was a dance studio or a gathering of teachers that she was mentoring, was a safe and nurturing space always, where everyone felt valued and listened to. As a mentor to other teachers, she was a great listener and offered guidance that was always unbiased and non-judgmental. She fostered an environment where creativity could flourish, always working well and playing well with others. Her positive attitude was and still is infectious, and her unwavering support of the arts, you know this, continues to be a beacon of inspiration for all. What made her truly extraordinary is her ability to connect with each individual. She was always respectful, offering feedback and encouragement in a way that always made you seen and heard, made you feel like you were seen and you were heard. Her love for her students and for teaching is unconditional. No matter what, excuse me, she remained loving, kind, and fully invested in the growth of those that she taught, and those that she mentored, and those that she guided. For almost 50 years, this amazing teacher not only taught dance, but also shaped the lives of countless students and fellow educators. Her legacy, we can see this in all that's in front of us here. Her legacy lives on in the grace of every dancer she trained, in the passion of every teacher she mentored, and in the vibrant arts community that she tirelessly continues to support. We are all of us in this room, forever grateful for her leadership, her wisdom, and her endless love. Thank you for everything, Mimi. You have made our world a much better place, and you have been an inspiration for all of these people in the room and so many more, and all of those that have crossed your path, including all of us in this room, and many, many, many more. Thank you, Mimi.
Photo ops, photo ops. She really was ready for the photo.
Too late. Say cheese. Cheese. Thank you. I don't want to miss anything.
No, you're doing great.
I'll behave.
Hey, it's your day.
I don't want to behave.
We're here for you. You do whatever you want. Right? All right, now I'd like to invite Miss Chris Clark up to speak.
Hello, I am honored to get up here and speak about the wonderful person we are here honoring today, Miss Mimi Costa White. As I look around the room, I see very many familiar faces, but for those of you who don't know me, my name is Chris Clark. I met Mimi, to be honest, back before I can remember meeting Mimi. So I can proudly say that I am lucky enough to live my entire life knowing this wonderful human being. So let's go back to where it started. In the mid-'80s, my mother and grandmother, who are here today, were celebrating 100 years of Wildlife at Holy Rosary here in Antioch. They decided that the ladies group would put on a performance. So my grandmother Betty reached out to her dear friend Doreen Kapusa, Mimi's mother, for her undeniable expertise in help choreographing and directing their show. Now, of course, I don't remember this. However, I was the 18-month-old little girl at rehearsals, hanging out in the wing in a full leg cast. Because yes, by 18 months of life, I'd already broken my femur. Broken leg aside, I was shuffleball changing along with my mom and grandmother on stage in the wings. Maybe it was the natural talent, or maybe Miss Doreen thought I needed some grace in my life. And she adamantly told my mother I had to come train with her and Mimi. By the time I was old enough to enroll in my first dance class, Miss Mimi had taken over the studio. For the next 27 years, I spent my evenings at 520 West 3rd Street in Antioch under the direction of Mimi Costa White. I learned to absolutely love the art of dance. I remember the pride on her face when I would master a skill. I remember feeling pride when Miss Mimi would recognize me and ask me to demonstrate for the class, or ask me to come across to the teacher bar to perform warm-up so others could follow along. I'm sure there are more than a few people in this room who remember that feeling. Mimi takes time to understand and know her students. She knows what makes us tick. She knows our strengths and weaknesses. She pushes us to be better and celebrates our accomplishments. She always had a way of knowing what was best for us. She always knew when we were a little burnt out and really needed that floor bar with bare feet to start class. Those were the best. I'll never forget the time she held my favorite pair of point shoes hostage. These are those shoes. Those of you in the back that can't see, you can see right through them. There's nothing left to these shoes, and they're just beautiful in my opinion. These were my favorite shoes because they were so worn, and I could feel the floor. I knew how connected I was to the floor. I loved them. I could turn in them, and Mimi was not having it. So she took them away from me after class. She went outside. She told my mother to come inside. My poor mother had to walk in as Mimi handed over the point shoes, gave custody to my mother, and said she needs new shoes. Mortified, My mother took the shoes, glared at me, and off we went. Of course I didn't tell her I needed new shoes because I loved these shoes. Why would I? The next day we were off to Berkeley to go get fitted for a new pair of point shoes. Lo and behold, Miss Mimi was right. It was time for a new pair of shoes. This way I wouldn't injure myself in broken shoes, and I'll admit it now, the new shoes felt really good. Beyond dance, she taught us what it was to be a good human being. Whether it was traveling to local elementary schools to perform dance demonstrations, performing at senior centers during Christmas time, or stopping class to very gently pick up a spider and carefully take it outside to go live its best life. Mimi, I love you, but I still won't pick up a spider. I am convinced the character Joy from Inside Out was based off of Miss Mimi. You can't help but feel joy when you're around her. In my senior year of high school, I was invited to join the staff at the studio. I took over the beginner jazz class, and a year later took over the rest of the jazz classes. Now working alongside Miss Mimi, I learned more about running the business of the dance studio, how to choose songs for recitals, how to select the right costumes for the right class. And over the years, she taught me how to let my creativity flow, taught me how to put on production performances, put on our epic annual blackout performance, and more. I had my fair share of absolutely terrible ideas. And looking back, I also know Mimi knew they were terrible ideas, but she allowed me the creative space to flesh them out and learn that maybe we should go in a different direction. Throughout college, I spent time with her late into the evening after class had ended, working on my lava notation homework. If you have no idea what word I just said, don't worry about it. It's really hard stuff as a dance major. Over the years, Mimi and I developed a close bond. She was my confidant, sometimes my therapist, and I became her right-hand woman. I can count on her and she can count on me. We didn't always have to say anything, sometimes just a quick glance and we could have an entire conversation. Speaking of powerful glances, I have another story for you. One year in our recital, the advanced point class had a routine where we were dressed in velvet bodices, beautiful tutus. It was a Christmas themed dance and we had these gorgeous red hand muffs that we had as a prop. Throughout the rehearsals, the girls kept dropping their props. So Mimi and I put our heads together and we thought, we'll sew a piece of point shoe elastic down the center so now we have a handle. Problem solved. Great. So just before showtime, Mimi had us on the wing and had a very stern conversation with us, reminding us, you must hold on to these at all costs. You don't want to see one prop on the floor. Well, wouldn't you know it, we almost made it through the performance. Then it happened. A series of grand jetés across the stage, and one was launched about 20 feet into the air. Now, the person who did the unthinkable is standing behind this podium right now. The routine ended, the curtain closed, and I ran over to the wing to assume my position because the class I was teaching was coming on next. I avoided any eye contact. I didn't let that look. You know the look. Moments later, I sensed her behind me. Terrified, I stood there still, and I heard something along the lines of, I know it was you. I turned expecting the worst. But instead, I got a smirk and a shaking head, and we both erupted into laughter, and she carried on about her way. I have so many other moments that I could recall of just pure joy with Miss Mimi. I could go on about how much I admire her drive and commitment to her community, desire to give back, or just talk about her huge heart. But what I really want to say is bravo, Mimi. There is really no stopping you. With all your achievements, there is no guessing why DMA would honor you with a Lifetime Achievement Award. You are so deserving, And looking around this room, it's clear to see you are also so loved. I love you, Mame.
She is such a part of my life. You have no idea. This woman.
Do there other daughters?
I'm still waiting for the day she says I'm a part of her life.